Yo, what's going on, man? I'm back with another video, but this video is kind of going to segue a little different than the typical videos I do. The video I'm going to be doing right now, which I told y'all, credit. If you look back at my introductory videos, it's going to be about credit, real estate, my life, my journey to the mobilism. So, but today we're going to talk about my opinions. This is all opinion based. So you can kind of take it how you want to take it. It's gonna be about credit today, and my experiences with credit. I have a knowledge base when it comes to credit. Been helping people with their credit, helping them out. So I thought that I'd get on here and give you guys some tips for myself, and give you guys some advice and some tips and something that you could probably run with. Maybe you do know it, maybe you don't know it. Maybe you did know it, but you didn't know it at a certain depth, a certain length. So, I got my notes down here. So whenever I look down, it'll be because I'm looking at my notes. So, just ignore that. Excuse the scruffiness, man. Excuse the scruffiness, but it is what it is. So, but today we're gonna be talking about five tips, 5 ways to help build up your credit score. So I'm not on here talking like I got the best credit in the world, because I don't. But what I can say is that the processes that I've gone through to help build my credit from a low credit rating into a medium to higher level credit rating. So the first tip that you would want to look out for, not look out for, but want to make sure that you're cognizant of, and everybody knows this, is on-time payment history. On-time payment history is a very big key. It's probably the heartbeat, and is the greatest, most important factor of your credit that you could have. If you do everything else wrong, max out your cards, do all that you're doing, be reckless, get car loans, all that stuff. That you can do all that. Yeah, it will hurt your score, right? But you can recover from something like that. On-time payments, you can recover from too, or from missing a payment. But I'm telling you, on-time or missing payments is probably one of the hardest things that could affect your credit score. Missing one payment could have your score going from a 700 or 800 down to a 600. Lose by 100 points. Your credit score could go down by 100 points just by missing one payment. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure when you're paying these cards, man, and you're paying all these bills, if it reports to your credit, make sure you pay that thing, man. Make sure that at least your credit score says, like, if you have a utilization out the yin yang, let's say your utilization is saying that you got $10,000 out that you're using right now, but you're paying on time. Yeah, it's gonna smack your credit, but I guarantee you, if you keep your on-time payment history at 100%, you will at least be able to save yourself from whatever situation you're in with your utilization being high. Also, on-time payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. 35% of your credit score. So if you miss one payment, 35% of your credit score that's calculated is based off of your on-time payment history. So make sure that you keep that payment history right. Tip number 2, utilization. Utilization is definitely a big part of your credit score. Like I was saying, yes, payment history. I would take payment history over utilization. Now, you can't necessarily go one without the other. But all I'm saying is, if you got to pick one, I would pick payment history. That I would not slack on. But utilization, like I was saying, utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. So that's a huge part of your credit score. So pretty much what utilization is that, let's say you have 2 credit cards that equal $5,000, and you use over $4,000, right? That's over 90% of your utilization used up. So you're overusing you're overusing what you have available to you. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that your utilization stays under 30%. I specifically would want it to 10 to 15%. That's kind of where my goal, that I shoot my goal for, because I feel like that's where you get the best results. But 30% is where you're in the safe zone for credit utilization. Tip number 3, micromanage your credit. Micromanage your credit. I'm telling you, like, don't go a few months without knowing what's going on in your credit score. Know exactly to a T what's going on with your credit. Watch it. Keep an eye on it, because things pop up on your credit report that you didn't even know that you had. So make sure that you're always keeping an eye out of things that are going on with your credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go out and not log into your accounts. Even Credit Karma, Credit Karma's free. Credit Karma's free, and it'll get you in the ballpark of where you need to be, or what's on your score. So you need to make sure that you're always micromanaging it, watching it, keeping an eye on it. If you do this, what will happen to your credit score? And if you do that, what will bring it down? If you don't micromanage it and you don't watch it, you cannot blame anybody or any situation as to why your credit score it is when you need it. You gotta always pay attention to it when you don't need it. That's actually when you don't need your credit is when you should be paying the most attention to it, is when you don't need it. Because when you don't need it, that's when you can find the errors to build it up. Does that make sense? So you can build up your score when you don't need it, so that way when you do need it, then your score will already be where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Tip number 4, get credit line increases, man. Like, if you have a credit card, let's just go back to the same credit card example, and you have a $3,000 credit card, and you've had it for a couple years, 6 months, I say 8 months. If you had it for at least 8 months, and you've been using it, call them and ask them for a credit line increase. Now there is a thing I want to let you guys know though, is that some credit card companies, they do hard pulls, or whatever creditor that you're with, they do hard pulls when it comes to getting credit line increases. So before you do the hard pull, ask them, say, do you guys do a credit line increases or hard pulls on credit line increases? They'll either tell you yes or they'll tell you no. Now, if they say they want you to do a hard pull on that, I personally probably wouldn't do it. Depends on the situation. But me right now, I'd probably just pass. I'd rather take a hard pull to try to get a new credit card than take a hard pull to try and get a credit limit increase. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the point of it is that, let's say you got both your credit cards, and one of them both of them equaled $5,000. Your utilization, you used up $4,000. But let's say you can get one of your credit cards to, let's just say you could add $4,000 more to your credit line, and that boosts it up all the way to $9,000. Well, now you've used $4,000, and now you have $9,000 available to you now. That changes your utilization. So now your utilization isn't the same anymore, because now you added $4,000 more to what you have available to you. And that will bring down your utilization percentage drastically. Does that make sense? So that's the part of getting that credit line increases. Some of the parts. Tip number 5, time. T-I-M-E, time. Credit, when you're dealing with your credit score, I want to tell you, like, speed with credit and the credit bureaus is minimum 30 days. Minimum 30 days. It takes, a lot of times Credit Karma, they'll post the thing each week, which is fine. But typically the credit bureaus, like when you're talking about with creditors and institutions and all that, 30 days is a speedy response time when it comes to your credit. So just thinking about that alone, that's a month. So you gotta remember, month by month, they report to these credit bureaus, and then you get your scores and you get your results pretty much in a sense. So with your credit, with doing all this stuff, if you do 1 through 4, with doing all of this stuff, I'm telling you, like, if you give yourself time, adding payment history, adding utilization, getting your credit lines increased, micromanaging it, watching it, throughout the months, you're gonna start seeing your score gradually go up as you're doing all this stuff and making your payments. Your credit score and your credit report, Time is the most underrated factor when it comes to your credit report or your credit score. Things don't happen in a day. Sometimes you can get good results, depending on what your situation looks like. You pay something down, and then next thing you know, you're in the 700s, almost 800s. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends. But at the same time is going to be your best friend. Patience is going to be your best friend. So you need to understand that time is a factor that you need to make sure that you have on your side. You know what I'm saying? And understand that even if it's not on your side, that credit's probably going to take a while. So you need to make sure that you're doing at least doing your due diligence. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. If you over here see stuff on your credit report, you see, like, if you're micromanaging it and you see inaccuracy on your credit report, dispute it. Dispute it. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait. I'll put it off. I'll do this. Don't wait to get the credit line increase. Don't wait to pay down your utilization. There's strategies all over the place that you can find that you use these strategies that help you pay your credit cards down faster. Because I've done it. And now I don't have the credit card with me, but now I got an upgrade and a credit line increase every 6 months because of it now. So just make sure, man, that you're going and you're doing these steps and you're being patient and you're giving yourself time to get the results that you need. But listen, man, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, man, and leave a comment below and let me know if you have any questions or any comments, and I'll get back to you, man. This is your boy, the Dread Mogul. I'm out.